I'm gonna tell a story, and I probably don't look the greatest right now, because I just got out the hospital, the psych ward. But one thing, before I discharged, my therapist had told me to think of two words. Think of two words. And the two words that I could only think of was, I don't know if you guys can see it. It says, keep going. Because I think I was really in denial about depression. I was like going through these like chaotic episodes, these like really weird behaviors, and doctors kept saying, oh, you need to take this medication and you need to take that medication. And I just felt like I'm not taking any medications. I'm not taking no medication. I don't want to be on medication. There's nothing wrong with me. But then I would have this constant battle in my head. Like, my thoughts were just so out of control. So out of control. Until it just got to the point where it was draining. It was draining. Like, every day, excuse my hair, every day it was a constant battle. Trying to wake up, get out the bed, get my kid dressed for school. It was just a constant battle to the point where I didn't even want to get out the bed. I just wanted to lay in the bed forever, just never get out. And you can't share that with your friends or people in your family because they judge you. They be like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just need to find something to do. Or you just need a hobby. It's all in your head. Ain't you all right? And you want to think that you all right. But the turmoil that you go through, you're not all right. So I struggled for a long time. And even after I've been out of Henry Ford for a couple of hours. Even after you get out the hospital, you feel good while you're in the hospital because it's a break. It's a mental relief break. Some people don't like being locked up in a psych ward. They don't. They can't stand it. They don't like not being able to go anywhere, not being able to do anything. But in the reality, that's what you need. Your brain needs to rest. You need to stay in one spot, and you need to get your mind together, because as long as you out here in the outside world, you thinking, you doing, you got responsibilities, you got everything. You got your kids, you got your significant other, you have situations, bills, work, money, and you never can give your brain a rest. But when you go to a facility, none of that matters because you can't get to it anyway. You're just there having to deal with what's on your mind, what's going on with your mind. So I know I'm not the only one that struggles, but sometimes it seems like I'm the only one on this earth that's going through this. Who else is going through this? And when I get to that place, it's like I feel so comfortable because I can finally see, instead of trying to be fake around friends, I can finally see it's not just me that's struggling. It's other people. And you meet some of the most weirdest people in the psychiatric, but to me they're like closer, like your family, because you guys cry together in therapy. You guys talk about stuff that you can't even talk to your own friends about. You can't talk to your family about because you're constantly getting judged. And it makes you feel absolutely horrible. And you feel alone when you come out here in the world. But when you're in the hospital, it's like family. Maybe some people don't understand because some people don't even make the attempt to try to get themselves out of that slump. Some people just give up and commit suicide, But that's why I made this bracelet today, right before I left. You can't see it. Keep going. So that means no matter how bad I feel, no matter how hard my days get, my mission is to keep going. And then I have another bracelet that I made. I was able to make two with my kids' names because that's who I got to keep going for. I got to keep going for them. It's sad because there was this lady on channel Fox 2 News, and she was so pretty, and she committed suicide. And I said, she had money, she had children, she had a husband, I'm pretty sure she had a beautiful house. If only somebody would have took the time to talk to her and make her, you don't want to tell somebody, go admit yourself in the hospital. You don't want to tell people that, but that could make a difference. If you're feeling bad to the point where, admit yourself. I know people don't want to do it because they feel like, I'm not about to give up my rights and be locked down in the crazy psych ward. But that's the moment when you can actually find a way to think all that negative that's going on in your head. They help you find positive words. Somebody was like, why are you going there for somebody just to tell you what you already know? But when you're out here struggling, you're not thinking about what you already know. Of course I know suicide is bad. Of course I know it's selfish. But when I'm going through a mental turmoil, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking like, I want it to stop. I'm tired. I'm mentally drained. I cannot take another day of this torture. I can't. It's mental torture. And then on top of it, when you can't sleep, that's even worse. So this is my first day out. And I'm going to try to record my days. So if I ever do get to the point where I feel like I can't go on, at least I'll have a story to tell. And then people will hear my story. Depression is like so lonely. Because the ones that you love, they can't get close to you because you're so snappy, and they may have their issues and you can't deal with your issues, so you definitely can't deal with their issues. So it gets really, 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 really hard. It gets really, really hard. And I know I probably look crazy, but you guys got to remember, I was in the psych for almost 2 weeks. And this is how I look there. Like, I really don't care about appearance right now. All I need is some hot combs, and once I put some hot combs, some heat on this, it'll be good. Probably look like the bride of Chucky or its cousin. But you don't even care about your appearance. You know what? Depression is so hard. You can't even get up and wash your ass. People just don't know. And I wish people did more studies on anxiety. Nobody knows about anxiety. Nobody knows what anxiety can cripple you. It can literally cripple you. It can have you stuck in the house for days, And I don't think anxiety is enough information, or is people are properly educated when it comes to anxiety. Because when I first admitted myself in the hospital, You know, I don't like crowds. And they were like out of room. So they put me in this bed in the hallway. And it was like across the hallway was like 3 rooms. And with the 3 rooms, it was like doctors behind me and just people walking up and down. And she told me to sit there. And I'm like, sit where? And I'm like, it seemed like everything was just moving so fast. And of course, doctors is used to that pace. They're used to that because that's what they do. They in a hectic environment. But for somebody that has anxiety or a social anxiety disorder, that is the worst thing you can do to them, is sit them in an environment like that. It's like almost like torture. So they sat me in this hallway and I damn near panicked. I got up, and because I was already there for psychotic thoughts, and the security jumped up, and but it's like, if you guys were properly educated, if you nurses were properly educated on anxiety and social anxiety, then you would know that, okay, if this person has a history, and I'm pretty sure it will be documented, then you would know not to even put them in that type of environment. That's a trigger. People don't know what triggers are. Like, doctors and nurses can sometimes be triggers, and they don't even know it. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm a nurse. I'm not a nurse, I'm a patient. So maybe sometimes patients and nurses and doctors should get together so that we all can understand one another. Because even though a doctor is a doctor, and that's what he went to school for, and he studied this, he doesn't know what the patient that's going through something mentally is actually going through. You studied it. They're going through it. And you see different people, but you just see them for maybe 10 minutes to get your $500, and then you're off to the next. You don't really, you the more people you see, you are experienced. I get that. You this is what you do. You see people with this disorder. But how about actually using that person and studying that person, not just for that one visit, but actually to study that person. Like, this person has anxiety. I'm a psychiatrist. I actually want to sit down for a couple of hours and really get to know what this person anxiety is really like. Doctors don't spend a half an hour with you. That's therapists. They don't have the time. They're too busy trying to see patients, but you're the doctor. You're supposed to treat it. So shouldn't you get to know what you're treating besides just treating every patient? Man, if I knew when I was little that life was going to be this hard, I wouldn't have rushed to grow up. I really wouldn't. I would have enjoyed my childhood, because I never, ever seen this coming. Never seen no type of mental illness coming. Never. And it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. You can be the prettiest girl, you can be the ugliest girl, you can be the fattest girl, you can be whatever. It don't even matter when you're struggling up here. It doesn't matter. And then if you don't have the family support or moral support, it's just even harder. But I'm gonna keep going until I can't go no more. But I'm gonna make these so people can see that I'm not the only one. You're not the only one out there struggling. You're not. It's thousands of people out there struggling. They just don't want to say anything. They don't want to tell. They keep it to themselves and struggle in silence. I don't want to struggle in silence anymore. I'd rather have a gang of people who are struggling with me we can all be friends and tell our story so that we know that we're not alone. I always have a feeling like that I'm gonna die alone because I have no family. I only have 2 kids. I always had that feeling. I'm gonna die alone because I don't want my kids taking care of me. If anything, I want them to live their life and be happy and have fun. And I don't want them worried about, oh, we got to take care of our mom. I know that's what kids would do, but I wouldn't want my kids doing that. So the fact that just being alone is so ugh. But if I can get up every day and keep going and share my story, when I leave here, people know, like, she felt that I felt the same way. She wasn't alone. And then if I could make someone feel like they aren't alone, then I think my goal is accomplished, because that's the whole point. You're not alone, even though you feel alone. Somebody out there gotta identify with what I'm saying. Somebody. I can't be the only one. I just don't know how to reach out and life is so hard. Has no instructions. It's like you got a blindfold on and you're just walking. You got a blindfold on and you're walking down a bumpy road with a whole bunch of obstacles, and you're in a trip and you're gonna fall, and you just gotta get up and keep going, but you don't know because you got the blindfold on. You just don't know. You just don't know. It's like gambling. When you go to the casino, you stick the money in hoping you'll win something. Life, you just walking, hoping that you'll find happiness and find your way, but it's not guaranteed. You go come to some bumps and rocky roads and potholes and ditches and logs in the road that's going to stop you, but you got to keep going. So if you didn't get nothing out of this video, my 2 positive words was keep going no matter how you feel. And trust me, I've been there where I felt like, oh no, this is the end. I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. I felt like that. But when that lady asked me them 2 words today, 2 words. She said 1 word or 2 words. Keep going. Rich, poor, we all have some type of downtime when we're not happy. I don't care. You could be a billionaire. You're gonna have downtime. And it's good that if you don't have good supportive people around when you have that downtime, that could be life and death. Just think about that lady on the Channel 2 News. She was beautiful. Nobody could see her unhappiness because of her beauty. Sometimes it be pretty people out here. They so pretty, but in the inside, they're so broken. And that's how I feel. Like, I'm not saying I'm ugly. I'm not saying I'm pretty. But a lot of people look at me and they be like, oh my God, you look like this. And in the inside, I'm broken. I'm broken in like hundreds of pieces. And I don't even know how to put me back together again. I feel like Humpty Dumpty. I'm trying to put me back together, but I don't even know how to put me back together again. So keep going. That was the message for today.